you moved from, like you mentioned, when you were in Jamaica, you were doing a bit of technical stuff. But then looking at your journey, you moved from the technical aspect to the leadership side, which I'm sure that's what you do now, right?
Yes.
How was that change? How was that transition for you?
Honestly, it was really difficult because I was in love with products. Like, I would wake up at 3:00 in the morning to talk to my developers in Lebanon because I felt the color wasn't right, or I dreamt about this thing and I was wondering, could it work? Could it not work? I was one of those obsessive kind of, this is my baby kind of things. And I had to learn that I would always be a product manager if I kept that obsessive, this is mine kind of personality. I needed to get to that stage where I could support product managers, where I could see the bigger picture, where I could understand the strategy of the organization, not just for my product, but for what we are all trying to do together. And I actually took some time off. I took 6 months to reflect on my life, to figure out where I wanted to be. If I wanted to be in leadership, or I felt like that was just the thing to do, like I had worked long enough and it's my time. And I had to break my own heart, in essence. I remember when I left my previous role, I was crying. I was speaking to the chief digital officer and I was crying, and it was awful, those ugly cries. And I was like, I don't want to go, but I want to grow. And I know that if I don't give this up, I won't get where I want to go in life, and I won't become the person I want to be. So I had to do that. I'm even tearing up. I had to do that ugly cry. I had to sit with myself. I had to figure out what I wanted. And then I had to recreate myself into the kind of person that could lead people, that could understand the bigger picture, that could see beyond what it is that was my product.
Yeah. So, you talk with so much passion. You said you could wake up 3 a.m., talk to your people because you felt the color. Is that what you meant by falling in love with the problem?
Well, that was falling in love with the product, but yeah, falling in love
That's true.
with the problem we were solving. At that time, the goal was to create a world-class product. We had a product that anybody could access and anybody could use, but because we wanted everyone to have access to it, we couldn't implement the newer things in iOS and Android. And the CEO at the time says, I want world-class. I want to be able to provide the best service to my customers with the newest level of technology. And that was the ask at the time. And to do that, it was a huge transformation for the business. So yeah, I had to understand what the business wanted to achieve, firstly, understand what customer wanted, because I was servicing 31 different countries with 31 different versions of the app, 7 different languages. So that was a big problem to solve. And then, having to test 31 different versions of the app. You sometimes wake up in the morning, I'm like, the Chinese version.
You were leading all the 30.
No, it's one product.
Okay.
But it was accessed. Some countries had different colors.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though it's the same brand, because pink was their color, not red. They had different promotions. They had different languages, some Creole, thinking back, it was quite big. But when you're in the moment, it's work.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I have to do 7 languages. Okay. JSON file. It's like, yeah.
I think I came to MTN one time, and it was a DigiFest or so, and then one of the designers was talking about how one of the products you guys were testing, I've forgotten what country, but in a certain, Ghana, this means like, okay, but then in another country, that was an insult. So that thing where maybe you send the money and it comes maybe successful. When they tested it out, they realized that, no, the people were reading it wrongly, because in Ghana, it means
good.
But then over there, it's, wow, that's very, very interesting. All right, now, to the point of leadership, right? You said something that I kind of agree with, which is you wanted to grow, but you also didn't want to leave the product side of things and all that. What would you say to, because, I mean, if you start building a product using a persona, Kofi, who is 25, you start building a product, at a point in time, you have to let certain things go and then pick up leadership, right? How have you understood leadership so far since you let go the technical aspect of it?
How do I understand leadership? That's a good question. I don't know if I really understand leadership. I feel like my team can tell you I'm growing in my leadership. I'm growing in understanding people, empathy. It's a people business. When you're a leader, it's no longer, as I said, the product. When I just started, I treated my team as if we were a product. And I said, okay, what features does my team need? We need someone who is business savvy. We need someone who is technical. We need someone who has a great personality. And I'll do a mind map kind of vibe and and kind of identify the kind of people that I felt would make my team / product, complete. After managing and leading for a few years, I've learned to not just see them as a product, but as people with aspirations and dreams. And working with me and working with MTN is a part of their big story. They're doing this to, yes, get a salary, but maybe they want to get married. And this gives them that comfort that I can get married, I can start a family, I can buy a house. You're now a part of someone's story. And it's important that you understand that it's not just these are your actions, these are your tasks, but this person is a whole individual with their own. So for me, I think that's how I've grown in becoming a better leader, becoming more empathetic, understanding that people are not products, they're people. I've learned a lot also about other things like finance, budgeting, what is OPEX, what is CAPEX. These are things that I wasn't previously exposed to before I went into leadership roles because I was only focused on the product. Now I have to now I understand how does this affect the business, the investments we do here, where's the money flowing from. I've also grown in areas of just regulatory understanding, the laws of the country. How does it affect the new policies? How does it affect the products that are coming out before I just rely on someone else for that? So it's personal growth, I think, has come in terms of understanding, as I said, the bigger picture. I was always very bottom up, understanding the little details of things and building it up into something else. And understanding now that I have to see the bigger picture, how it affects my team, who I'm leading, how does it affect the entire business, and how do I become a part of the solution?